So today we would be exclusively be reviewing my Classic 500 Desert Storm. You might have seen me thumping around you nearby states of Gujarat and even a few dirt treks here and there, and few of you have even spotted me, and I have even mentioned you guys on Instagram. So yes, this is the very crisp time to let you know about my personal review and my personal thoughts about how the Classic 500 for me has been a boon and a bane also sometimes. But this is just my point of view, and this is just my own view, that how I feel about my bike and how it has performed for me and how I have taken care about it. So I would be specifically talking about how the bike has been performing for me over this past 24,000 kilometers. And the other thing that I would be likely highlighting in this video is that what mileage does it give me, what is the cost of maintenance, what kind of major overhauling or major maintenance it has given me over this period of time, and any major drawbacks that I personally feel, and one of the most loved things about this bike that I personally like about it. And at the end of the video, or somewhere in between the video, I would give you my roadster points. So from now on you would be hearing about the roadster points also. So I would be giving my bike depending upon its behavior over this past few years and its performance on the highway. So we would get into it and I will let you know. So first thing first, that all Indians asked about their vehicles, kitna deti hai. So the mileage of this bikes on the highway, or particularly for my Classic 500, I have two sets of mileage that I have faced and I have witnessed in this bike, in my Classic 500. During a few other rides I have maintained around 37 to 38 kilometers per liter. But where this bike performs quite good and where this bike performs brilliantly is in the city roads, because yes, no doubt the bike is quite heavy. You would feel it on your clutch hand and you would feel it on your accelerating hand also. But the average that it gives, if you are maintaining a good 30 to 40 kilometers in the city, but no, I'm not talking about bumper to bumper traffic, because it's a whole new different scenario. But during smooth going traffic or easy going traffic and not in peak hours, this bikes give me at around 27 kilometers per liter, because at 285 kilometers the bike's fuel light starts blinking. That means the bike is in reserve already. Okay, then the next point, the cost of maintenance. Now this is the second most important thing that all Indian riders, all Indian vehicle owners, though it may be four-wheeler or two-wheeler, all look after what maintenance goes into it after buying the vehicle. So particularly for me, my Classic 500 has been totally maintenance free, because there have been no major overhaul that I needed to give my input for or I needed to invest into. The bike is a complete package. You don't need to do any workarounds, you don't need to do anything else. The only major cost that this bike has given me is the fuel pump, because during the Mangad ride there was not enough parking space for all of us. So few of us riders decided to park by a near construction site, but I did not know, or we did not know, that it was infested with mouse. So during return journey from Mangad, if you have seen the video, you can check out the link somewhere up over here. My fuel pump hose wires and even my fuel pumps fuel assembly tubes came out of their connections, and I faced a major issue of petrol leakage during my journey. So it was quick enough for the Royal Enfield's officer service center to give me a helping hand, even though it was a Sunday. But they told me that you need to bring the bike on the following day because they don't have the workforce to work upon it. So the fuel pump became loose because the mouse ate the wires, and the tubing that takes the fuel to the injectors also was eaten up by the mouses. So due to that, there was a major expense of 8,000 rupees, which was not enforced by me, but it was just out of situations that I had to do that expense. The fuel pump was okay, the fuel linings were just eaten by the mouse, so the whole assembly had to be changed. So yeah, that's the only maintenance that I give into this bike, and a regular oil change, and that's it, nothing else. Okay, so the most important part of maintenance in any bike is the oil change. So for me, there is one particular oil that has worked wonders, and I never knew before I tried it, and from now on I'm only going for that company only. So let's take it into the first phase. The first phase, or the first 18,000 kilometers or 19,000 kilometers, I used to use the Rebel company oil that is powered by a local brand, and before that I used to use official Royal Enfield oil, and that also was quite effective. But I did not find it that effective because at the speed of 60 to 70 kilometers itself, the bike starts vibrating and it feels like it is forcing itself to run according to what I am trying to make it run for, instead of being at a very mutual stage of me and Voyager being at the same pace of thought process and the accelerating process. So I did not get that kind of throttle response as I wanted during my rides while using the Royal Enfield and the Rebel oils. So what now I currently use is a Liqui-Moly fully synthetic engine oil, and it has worked wonders. Now all of you classic riders or Royal Enfield riders out there, if you're thinking that my bike is vibrating a lot, well, I suggest you go for Liqui-Moly, because I personally have been using it for past several thousand kilometers and my bike has stopped vibrating even a bit, and I can see clearly in the rear view mirrors. I can see what is happening behind me, just because there is no kind of vibrations that are coming from the engine towards my steering bars or my handlebars. So yes, Liqui-Moly has worked wonders for me. And what I have seen is, while riding at 80 kilometers, 90 kilometers, sometimes when you are in a rush or just in the mood and you're riding at 100 kilometers per hour, the bike performs flawlessly, even in sets of I would say confidence, because you know that you are in the grip of the bike, just because the bike is feeling confident at those speeds. So yeah, Liqui-Moly has done wonders for me. So let us talk about those Seat tires. Well, I've been using the company provided default stock Seat tires, and for me it has been somewhat satisfactory, because during times of rainy seasons or when the roads are quite wet, it tends to slip a lot from the rear section or its rear part while braking, and it tends to lose its grip from behind. So it brings down the confidence level while riding in monsoons. Believe it or not, it has been 24,000 kilometers, but there has been zero punctures on this, both the tires, front and the back. But I just don't want to jinx it. But yes, there has been no major issues with the tires as such, because there are quite sturdy tires and they are built to last, I guess, because if you can see at 24,000 kilometers also, there's good amount of grip that is left on the front tire itself. So rider review. Well, for me, Classic 500 has been flawless, and I cannot see a subordinate to this bike for a longer period of time from now, because it's just done 24,000 kilometers as such, and I do not feel the urge of buying the new bike that I felt while I was riding an Yamaha R15, because it is a power pack bike, the R15, but the Classic 500, though being a single cylinder, it performs quite good while you are touring, even with luggage and a pillion. So yeah, Classic 500s sadly are discontinued in India, but I do not think there would be any problem in the foreign countries or overseas like Japan. They have launched, so they would be enjoying on those roads, because I have been enjoying on our Indian roads. But yes, Indian roads have I would say improved a lot better over the period of time, and so you can see it on the vlogs also, and I personally feel it while riding my Classic 500 or riding my Voyager on those highways. And definitely I would give a 5 out of 5 roadster points to it, because this is a complete package, because you don't feel that you need to upgrade now and then. Well, personally I have been waiting for a 650, that is the Classic 650 cruiser that is coming up ahead, but I just want to look into the price bracket, that where it falls. That's just the curiosity I'm waiting for, and what are the features that are coming with. But the Classic 500 that I own currently, the Desert Storm, it is completely flawless and it delivers to all my expectations. I do not feel that my Classic 500 is underpowered or overpowered. It's just at that bracket where you want it to be and where it delivers. So lower RPM, I feel the bike is a bit heavy, but during the higher RPMs you don't feel the weight. As soon as you hit the 40-kilometer mark, the bike becomes totally feather, and you don't need any kind of unbalancing techniques. I have fell on my bike thrice, 2 times just by slipping due to the gravel, and once putting it into the center stand, the bike slipped out of my hand. So yeah, the weight issue is there, but it is not as heavy as it earlier used to be. I guess the weight the Enfields have, because they provide stability to the bike somehow. I do not know the whole aspect of it, but yes, these bikes are built to last, and they are made like a gun, definitely. So yeah, it's a big thumbs up from me. So if you stick around till now, make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And if you are new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon to get the most updated notification of my uploads. Well, in this segment of the video, we would be talking about the drawbacks of the Voyager or my Classic 500. Well, I have 5 drawbacks about this bike specifically. The first thing needs to go as soon as you buy the bike, or if you have the bike, just change the headlights. The headlights are shit as hell, because as soon as the sun goes down, you don't see anything. Like, it's worthless having the stock headlights. It just lights up the bike for the other bystanders or other riders to know that you are there. Except that, it does nothing. I mean nothing at all. You can see it in my Kumbhalgarh ride while I was coming back, and it was quite late. We were late, and it was my friend's bike that lit up the road for me. I suggest that you change the headlights as soon as possible. Second thing that I don't like about the bike is the fuel gauge meter. The buoyancy device inside the fuel meter is faulty, or somehow it moves as the fuel moves inside the tank. So as soon as you have used a few bit of your fuel inside the tank, and there is a space of air and there's space for the petrol to move inside out, or front and back. So as you accelerate, the fuel meter goes off, and as soon as you deaccelerate, the fuel meter lights up. So that's the only problem that you face. Thirdly, I don't like about how the rear seats are, and for that also I don't like my driver's seat too. So I have to invest into it by adding extra pads to it and adding extra foams to it. So both of my seats, the rear and the back, well, currently my rear seat is under restoration because there is a big part of rusting, but I like what the bobber look it offers without the seat. But the seats are not that comfortable, so you need to invest more into the seat paddings, and you need to invest into extra foaming of the seats. That depends upon your choice and how your imagination works in making your bike look like. So yeah, you need to invest into the seats. The fourth thing that I do not like about the bike is the weight of the bike. Certain times you feel the weight, certain times you don't feel the weight, but certainly when you are traveling in bumper to bumper traffic, the weight kicks in and it definitely feels on the clutch hand. Well, I don't feel it much, but it does feel when you are doing bumper to bumper traffic for a longer period of time, and that's when the palm pain kicks in. The other thing I don't like about my Voyager is the chain drive or the chain part. So the rear sprocket is exposed, and the only drawback about that is when you chain spray your whole sprocket and the chain assembly, it leaves an oil mark on the whole rims of the rear tire. But I personally feel that the chain plastic drive that you are seeing in the clip right now, it needs to be extended a bit more so that the whole chain is not sprayed on the rear rim also and even on the rear tire, because it just makes the whole clean bike look even more dirtier. And that's all. The bike is superb for me. I love it till my soul, and I find it very comfortable on highways, no fatigue at all, and maintenance free, peace of mind, easily serviceable anywhere and everywhere, and most important, बहुत अच्छा mileage देती है. Brings down the traveling cost by a lot of percentages, and you don't need to worry about when the next signboard says that less petrol, the last petrol pump is from X and Y Z kilometers. So that puts the worry out of your mind. And so the time for roadster points, I would say on comfort level I would rate my Voyager at 3/5 roadster points. For mileage I would definitely give it a 5/5 roadster points. For service feasibility I would definitely give my bike it a 5/5 roadster points. Quite easily serviceable. Majority of stuff you can do it at home, in a garage, or even in a parking space, or wherever you are. For ease of maintenance I would definitely give it 5/5 roadster points. And for off-roading, I guess I shall be quite frank, it is not an off-roading bike, so I would definitely give it a 2/5, because it's not an off-road vehicle, it's a cruiser vehicle, and it is meant for the highways and smooth roads, but not for the off-roading part. You have the Himalayans and the other stuff and the other bikes that are available. For highway cruising, definitely I would give it a 5/5 roadster points, and on city I would give it a strong 4/5, and nothing much out of that, because once you own a Royal Enfield, you know a thing or two about how it performs and how it doesn't. So that's it guys, that's my review for my Voyager or my Classic 500, and I've been what is all is a happy customer of it and a happy rider also. And I just love cruising around in my city and go on rides with my friends, or even solo sometimes. So yeah, I hope the 650 launches soon, but this is a complete package and I do not wish to sell it. I have few subscribers that have met and told me that they want to purchase this bike, but no, I'm not giving it away. I'm not giving it away ever. If some time comes in that I am trying to upgrade to anything else, then I would give it in exchange. But for now there are no plans of buying a new bike, and there are no plans of upgrading any bike, because I am very satisfied with this 500cc Royal Enfield. So if you love this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, share this video. So until then, I will see you on the roads again. So roadster out, ride hard, bye.